Welcome to Grad Connect. My name is Kush Rawal, and today I'm in conversation with Neha, who has also enrolled as a GradRight ambassador representing the University of Edinburgh. Neha, please could you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Neha Sresh. I'm doing my master's in finance at the University of Edinburgh, which is in Scotland, and it's almost coming to an end. And I've enjoyed it so far a lot.
Please could you also tell about your undergrad?
Absolutely. So I did my undergrad in Bangalore, India, in Jain University. Also specialized in finance, but my degree was business administration. So I've had a sort of business theme going on with my entire career.
Thank you for your introduction. So, we'll be talking about Neha's journey to the University of Edinburgh and grab some insights about the university. Thank you, Neha, for taking time out to help Indian students with their journey to masters abroad.
Of
So,
course.
Neha, what led to the thought of pursuing a master's degree in finance? Like,
Um,
what made you so sure about it?
so I firstly wanted to do finance because my dad, he's a chartered accountant, and I was working with him since I was in ninth grade, doing accounts and things like that. So and after my bachelor's, I wanted to kind of gain some core knowledge in finance, and I thought that London being a financial hub, I thought UK would be the best place for me to pursue some more theoretical knowledge in finance, and then go on to gain practical experience.
So, when you had finalized this is what you wanted to do, what process did you follow to shortlist the course and the university you wanted?
So to be honest, it was not an easy process at all. And the shortlisting started actually 2 years before that I even wanted to pursue my master's. So during my second year of undergrad, I started looking into countries and then eliminated the countries that wasn't too aligned with my course, and then finally came with Europe and UK as the final options, and ended up choosing UK because Europe, although the courses might be really great and they might be really highly ranked, the employment, as far as I read, as far as my research is concerned, UK is much better in that regard. So it took me a year to kind of shortlist all of those universities based on finance and location, the course itself, and how it's going to suit me and whatnot. And finally landed in Scotland.
Can you elaborate a few metrics which you follow to shortlist the university and the course?
Absolutely. So I just have my entire life on a Excel sheet. That's how I run my life. And in order to shortlist my universities, I just drew up an Excel sheet that had all of the potential universities in it. The tuition fee, one of the main metrics that I had, because I had to avail a student loan to pay the tuition fee, and the location, which is very important to me as well. I didn't want to end up in a place where there's a huge language barrier, because I didn't want to spend time in doing that rather than learning my course. And secondly, I would say just the weather and the location, the economy, and then how exactly the city is perceived in everybody's eyes. I just wanted to see that as well, and other students' experiences. I spoke to a lot of alumni from London, from HEC Paris, and wherever I had considered applying. Spoke to the alumni, which was very important to me, the student experience. And finally, the course structure. That was the most important to me, because I didn't want it to be just a basic management course that I was going to do, because I already did that in my undergrad. I wanted core financial knowledge. So I'd say course, location, student experience, and the tuition fee are the four main metrics that I followed.
A lot of research has gone through it, I see.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And like you had started doing this a long time back, and maybe like you told me like 2 years earlier to the application process. So what all did you do to make your resume and your profile strong?
So there was basically nothing in my resume during my second year of undergrad, and I saw that universities abroad, they don't just see your academics. Actually, academics are the least important thing, I'd say, is in what they consider. They consider how diverse you are in what you know, and your skills and your communication is the most that matters in terms of both reading and writing. That's what all universities see. So I started to do extracurricular activities and add them onto my resume. Like, for example, I joined Toastmasters International, which is like a public speaking platform that is there all over the world. And I joined that. I completed a couple of parts in it, which took me about 6 to 7 months. I did the CISI, which is basically like a Singaporean certificate for finance in terms of investment related courses. I took that with my university. So that was the first thing that I did for finance. And then secondly, I took the CFA Institute introductory course on the platform itself. And I wanted to pursue my CFA level 1, which I studied for, but because of COVID, I couldn't write it. And I hope to write it after my master's. So all of those things. And I also published a couple of papers, research papers during my third year of undergrad in finance to show that I did something outside of academics and something by myself. I took some initiative and published some papers. And I also did a lot of online courses on Coursera and Udemy and whatnot, including SQL, Stata. And these are very good programming languages. If you have a basic knowledge of universities really value that, not just universities, even companies value that with the technical knowledge. So I did an all round um, ramp up on my resume during my second year of undergrad. So if you decide to apply on in the last minute, it's really difficult to do that. You need to like plan way ahead to appeal to the universities in that way.
Thank you for that advice. And like you need to really build your resume to get into those top universities.
Yeah.
So out of your shortlisted universities, what made you choose University of Edinburgh over all of the others?
So the universities that I applied to were mostly in UK, and I just applied to HEC in Paris because it's the number one university
Right.
for finance. And out of that, I got into Warwick, I got into Imperial, got into LBS and University of Edinburgh, but I could not get into HEC Paris. So out of all these, LBS was the first thing that was obviously really attracted me. Everybody would love to study in London Business School. It's like top one of the top schools you can graduate from. But financially, it was really important to me that I could afford it over the next 10 years in terms of paying back my loan. So University of Edinburgh was the next best thing for me, because although Imperial, Warwick, all of them are great, I didn't want it to be situated. I didn't want myself to live in a city that's like far off from big metropolitan cities, because you see, finance is a subject where you need a lot of networking. You need to connect with other people. And Edinburgh being the capital of Scotland, I thought that it'd be a great place, not too crowded like London, and also like easy to connect with other people. And it was also a culture that I never experienced before, never been to Scotland. So I really wanted to study here. And also the tuition fee was pretty reasonable, including the course structure and everything. It was just the right choice at that point.
A lot of groundwork has been done by you as
Yeah,
in various aspects.
definitely.
So what was the application process like for applying to University of Edinburgh?
Just like every other UK university, the application process is pretty straightforward. Firstly, you need to fill out the application form, which you need all the relevant documents to apply for that. That is your transcripts, and you need to write your IELTS, that is your English test, which is required by almost all countries if you want to study abroad, and your GMAT. That is not compulsory for University of Edinburgh, but I did write it because I had applied to LBS as well. And you need to have your transcripts, your most recent transcripts out of graduating from your undergrad. And you need to have like a really good resume and essays are the most important. SOP and the essay questions that come with the application, actually, even if you don't have a good resume, like if you're not able to build it enough, if your essay is good enough, you can get into any university. And references also very important, like your previous employers or your previous professors must refer you in good regard to the university. So these are all the requirements to apply to any university for masters.
Can you give any advice for writing the essays?
So it depends on each university, to be honest. For
Right.
example, LBS has over 20 essay questions that you need to write. Like they're small ones, but they need to be crafted so perfectly because you have a word limit for everything, and you need to like concisely construct all your sentences and all your achievements in that one paragraph for 20 questions that they have. But University of Edinburgh, there were two questions. One is regarding why do you want to join this university, and the second one was what are your technical accomplishments, and how do you think, what are the skills and knowledge that you can bring into this course. They might seem like very general, cliche, normal questions, but it really matters what you write in it, because you don't want to seem like you just copy pasted another essay out of the internet and added your name to it. So it
Right.
has to be like having a conversation with a university. It's not like you're being so formal and superficial. It needs to be the real you. And when I say be yourself, like I really mean be yourself. Like even if you have a weakness, go ahead and put that, but how you came out of that weakness is also important. You need to mention that as well. So I just wrote my story, how I was so interested in finance and the skills that I have. And I undertook internships when I was doing my bachelor's, and I wrote about that in detail, because those are unique experiences. Other people would not have had the
Right.
same internships or the same roles. So I would say unique experiences are very important. They should not be cliche or generic. So that's how you get a winning essay.
Did you get any scholarships, and is there any certain procedure for applying for scholarships?
I got scholarships, but for other universities, unfortunately, I couldn't get it for University of Edinburgh. There's one main scholarship that you can apply for, that is the Dean's Academic Excellence Scholarship. Actually, only one person that I know out of all my students in the cohort has received that. That was about £5,000,
Okay.
5 lakh in Indian rupee, out of 33 lakhs. That is the tuition fee. So that is, as far as my knowledge is concerned, only one person has received it. No one else has. It's very difficult to get that, and you need to have like a lot of work experience and like simply just straight A grades in your undergrad to receive that scholarship. So there's that, but there are other external ones that you can apply for as well. There are a lot of government scholarships. There's a Commonwealth scholarship which
Right.
you can apply to, but it has a lot of restrictions that come with it. For example, you can't stay here beyond a certain amount of time if you apply to those scholarships.
Oh,
They want you back.
okay.
So yeah, it really depends on what you're looking for.
Okay. So diving into your university life, how diverse is your batch, and what background do other students have?
My batch is actually really diverse. I have friends from the US, Asia, Southeast Asia, India, of course, and Mexico, and all these different places that I never even heard of. There was Austrian people, and there were people from Philippines, like very diverse. But most people, I'd say, are from the Asian side.
Okay.
You will find very few UK residents in the university.
And what are their undergrad backgrounds? Like everybody has done finance, or they are different backgrounds?
Well, most have done business. I wouldn't say finance, like something related to management or business, or because it's important when you're getting into a core finance field to have a basic foundational knowledge of business. There
Mhm.
was just one engineering student among 200 um, management students. So that was the only person who had a different subject other than everyone else. So you need to have a management sort of background in terms of applying to finance.
Okay. And how is the teaching methodology, and how is it different from India? And if you could highlight a little about the professors.
Of course, so professors here are really, they're like your friends. You can reach out to them anytime you want and you'll get a response. And you don't even need to like really email them. You can just message them on Teams, Microsoft Teams, and then you get a response right away. So it's not the case in India. As far through my experience, like you have to um, what do you say, read a lot of books, a lot of theory, and there's a lot of lecture hours in India, right? So you just have to be in college from 9 to 5, and that's how it works. And you have like periods every 1 hour it changes. So over here that's not the case. You get to choose when you want to attend classes and what day you want to attend classes and what time as well. And that's really flexible because you get to plan your study. It's like your responsibility to finish your masters and not their responsibility to finish it for you. That's how it's different from India. So you need to plan out your schedule from day one over here. And it's very very practical. Like they get you to do the software and apply the software. There's a software called Stata. That's a statistical management software that you have here, and they get you to um, do projects based on that. And in India it's just learning about the software. Here you get to do them. And especially during the dissertation phase, that's the final project that I'm currently doing, you get to do an entire research all by yourself. And you get to conduct research by interviewing people or gathering data, or primary or secondary, doesn't matter. So it's very very application based, I'd say, in UK, compared to the theoretical education that's given in India.
And how intense is the course? Like, are you able to manage a part-time job with the course?
I'm not gonna lie, it's very very intense. Like you will have no social life almost if you dedicate yourself completely to the course, but it's totally worth it because of what you learn. uh, I personally did a part-time. I'm still doing a part-time, but you get to only work 20 hours a week with your
Mhm.
visa. So
Right.
I used to work Saturdays and Sundays. And
Okay.
Monday to Friday, there's your university. So you get to study and do whatever academic work that you want. But it's very, very difficult to have that work-life balance. So it's up to the person if they can handle it or not. But I'd say it's pretty intense.
Can you throw some light on the recruitment journey? Which companies or fields do students generally get placed into, and what are like the average salary expectations?
So there's no placement in UK, and especially in University of Edinburgh, there's no concept of placements. It's up
Mhm.
to you and your skills to get a job here. And especially because there's a graduate route visa now, which allows you to stay here for 2 years and look for a job. And me, so far, I started applying to jobs as soon as I came here because I knew that it'd be really competitive when it ended. So I started applying from November onwards. And I'll be very honest, you get a lot of rejections. You're not going to get accepted that easily because people here, employers here, look for experience and skills, and your resume needs to be absolutely perfectly polished, and including your cover letter. And this I learned through a lot of negative experience, a lot of rejections. Over 50 plus rejections if you're applying continuously. And you shouldn't get disheartened because right now I have 5 companies that who want me, and I have interviewed with them, and I'm kind of in the final stage, and I'm about to graduate next month. So if you want to have a job before graduating, you need to apply early, but you shouldn't apply hastily. There's difference. You need to make sure that your resume is perfectly polished, and speak to the career advisors at the university, very important. Like they tell you what the employers are looking for. So I've had about 3-4 sessions with them,
Mhm.
and in the end it's all up to you on getting a job. And the salary expectations, I'd say, for a master's finance graduate would be between 25,000 pounds to 45,000 pounds. Depends on the company that you sign up for. But 30,000 is the usual starting salary.
Okay. Thank you for the advice also, and for highlighting about the recruitment journey. Please, can you tell about in which city do you live in? What are the average living expenses for a month?
Sure. I'm currently living in Glasgow. Actually, it's 1 hour away from Edinburgh. It's the largest city in Scotland. But I'll just tell you about Edinburgh because the university is there. I took up a student accommodation, and the city itself is absolutely. It's actually the most beautiful city in the world, even according to Times. It is just so picture perfect, and you can just go out on walks every day, and then you find something new. The weather is something I'd complain about because it's just raining all the time. Right now it's summer, so it's okay, but otherwise it's extremely cold and rainy here. And I took up a student accommodation when I was in Edinburgh, so I connected with a lot of my classmates. We used to do our assignments together, and you meet people from other universities as well. But it depends on whether you want to take university or private, because there's this restriction as well. Like sometimes you can't go out, or in private it's more flexible. Like
Right.
anybody can come live with you. And in student accommodation, it's not like that. Like you can't have a roommate without asking their permission. So that's it's basically a very chill city, and everybody is really calm. There's no, it's not like crowded or happening place, I'd say.
And what are the living expenses?
So living expenses, actually that depends how you want to live. Like if you want
Like
to like
on an average, like what do
on an
like
average, I'd say monthly expenses, like about from groceries to just daily living, like laundry, clothes and whatnot, 150 pounds per month. That is excluding rent, like
okay.
just extras, whatever you want to have, dinner or everything. So it just goes from 150 to 200 would be the range per month, would be your spend.
Mhm.
And in then later you can go ahead and crunch the numbers and manage your budget more much better. But as far as my experience is concerned, for the first 8 9 months, it remained the same, about 150 to 200. The rent is about, I'd say 400 to 800, in that range per month.
Depends on the
Yeah,
person.
it depends on the person, depends on the bills as well, if it's included or excluded. And there's council tax if after you graduate, but that's not for students to worry about.
Okay. And can you tell me a few things you love about University of Edinburgh and a few things you don't like?
Right. The few things that I really love is the lectures itself, because they're so, like I said, very application based. They make you do everything, and there's no way that you won't understand it because you're doing it, and you get to like have as many sessions as you want. You get a personal tutor, so you can just reach out to them anytime you want. They're like your counselor slash mentor. So you go tell them if you're having any problems. A very very accessible university, I'd say, in terms of whatever you are looking for, or whether it's extracurricular activities or some more academic experience, or just some mental health counseling, whatever you want, it's available in the university. Some things that I don't like about the university, I'd say, personally, I came here during COVID, so that was last year September. First semester was entirely online for me, and I did not enjoy that, because I was told that would be flexible, but it really wasn't, because only
Mhm.
once a week I was going to college at that point. So I missed out on a lot of the offline experience during my first semester because of the rules and regulations. So that's something I did not like. But
Mhm.
then during the second semester, it got better. And now it's just pretty normal going to university, coming back.
So if you could go back in time, do you feel you could have done a few things differently, or do you feel this was the right path for you?
If I could go back in time, I wish I had more money so I could go into LBS. But so this university is pretty really good. Just worth for students if they want to have a core finance career in asset management or investment banking and whatnot. So if you want to gain that core knowledge, you'll not have any foundational courses here. So something to know is that you'll not have any basics taught to you. You need to know everything, from accounting to trading. You need to have a basic idea about it, otherwise you will not understand anything that's being taught here, and you'll have to start again going back to YouTube and looking at videos and trying to understand what it is. So that's just wasting time. So before coming here, it's making sure that you know the score structure really well, and you're
Mm.
going to make sure that you can cope up with it. So I wish that I would have gone back and done that bit better, because I also spent some time looking at YouTube videos trying to understand some basic concepts. So yeah.
You already covered like an advice for the students. Do you have another advice like for the students who want to join University of Edinburgh?
Another advice for students, I'd say, when you come here, like, attend every single class, because even if you don't attend a single class, you're going to be completely lost, because they cover so much material in the class that it's you would sit a week studying it if you don't go and attend every single one of the classes. So that is, be as engaging as possible with the university. I think that I would have done that differently as well. Even during COVID, I should have gone to the university, sat in the library, and communicated with the mentors or my classmates a bit more. But I sat at home studying. I would say, please don't do that. Go to the university and just stay there, be there, like be present, so that you feel that you're doing like a really good master's course and you're studying really well with your classmates. So I would say that that's a piece of advice from my side.
Thank you for the advice. Thank you so much, Neha. I know a lot of Indians will benefit from all the insights you have shared today. It was a wonderful experience talking to you, and I wish you all the best for your journey.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kush. It was a pleasure talking to you as well. So I'm available anytime for any more advice if you need.
Thank you.